Thank you so much for coming back with us here on Purely Positive. We have a wonderful guest today who was, well, let's see, recommended to be on the show because she is a PPP as well, a purely positive person, and her name is Roz. So tell us, Roz, what is it that you do?
Well, the bigger question is, what don't I do?
Oh, do tell. Do tell.
So I used to hold a full-time job where I was a practice manager, almost the youngest one in there. However, a couple of years ago, I started speaking out because I'm a survivor of domestic violence, and I finally started speaking out. When I started speaking out, I realized that it was my calling, it was my purpose to share my story, to empower someone else, to teach someone else. So I made the choice and the decision to leave my job so that I can be in the community, and my husband fully supported that.
Nice.
So yes, it has definitely been a transition. November will be 1 year, but since then I'm on the board for the Jude House in Charles County. I live in Charles County.
Now let me stop you right there. For the people who don't know what the Jude House is, can you explain?
Yes, the Jude House is for recovering addicts. So I sit on the board, trying to, I became on a board member because I want to see change in everything I do. So I want to empower anyone I come in contact with. So when I volunteered there and I saw how things was run, I wanted to be a part of the solution. So I applied to be a board member.
Look at you! Okay.
Yeah, so I do that. I'm also a Zonta of Charles County, and Zonta also is women serving women. It's all women in Zonta. Okay. Zonta is international, but I'm in the Charles County part of Zonta. So it's women empower women. We do a lot in the community. A lot. I'm on the advocacy committee, of course.
Of course.
I'm on the advocacy committee. Actually, I was just elected to be a board member for that also.
You go, girl.
So I've been in there for a year, but I just became a board member about 2 months ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So that I'm also the CEO of Daughters with a Purpose mentoring group. Daughters with a Purpose is for children 7 to 17 years old. It's for mentorship. I'm the CEO of Valuable Blessings. Miss Valencia is actually the founder and the CEO of Valuable Blessings. So Daughters with a Purpose falls under that.
Okay.
The nonprofit falls under her. So I'm the CEO, and then my husband is the CEO of the male portion of it.
Oh,
also.
That's nice.
Yes, which is man-to-man mentoring program. So he does the boys and I do the girls part of that.
Wow. And I would not have met you had you not come to visit me with Selena.
I know.
Wow. We have so much to talk about after this interview. You just don't know.
Yes.
Anyway, so in your journey in doing all these things to help the community, what would you say? I mean, obviously you're very big on helping the community.
Yeah.
Is there one that's a stronger calling than the other?
I think honestly, so I get emotional when I say this. So I really want to raise our children so that they won't be grown up to be broken. I
know what you mean.
I don't want us to get to my age where I was so broken and so this and so that I didn't see who I was. I want to get to a place where we can raise strong women and strong men, and we don't wait to this long. I want to start being a part of the solution, helping out. So I guess when it comes down to the children or to women, especially the young women, I had my first child when I was 18 and my abuse happened in that younger relationship, the teenagers.
I got you.
I don't think that people realize that teen violence having teen
all the time.
Yes, I think people think, oh, they're just teenager. They don't know what love is. Well, not only did we not know what love is, we didn't know what abuse was also. You know what I'm saying? So I really want to touch these teenagers in these middle schools and even as early as elementary school, so they can know self-respect and self-worth and what love is and what love isn't and things like that, because, you know, my abuse started at a very young age.
You know, it's interesting that you should have that feeling. I'll just say that I have the same feeling, and I address that in my writings as an author. But I applaud you for that. I applaud you for that, because they fall by the wayside, and it's unfortunate. A lot of people feel like, oh, well, you know, they'll grow up and they'll understand and they'll grow. No. Things that happen to you when you're small scar you for life.
Yes, it does. It creates who we are now, broken.
It makes you live your life completely different from what you would have had that event or that incident not happened to you. I know I'm living proof of that.
I definitely know I'm living proof of that, and still living proof of it, and still battle with, you know, some of those things. It doesn't just happen. You don't just like get over these things. You know, it's funny because when I was going through my the things I was going through, I remember a family member, an older family member said to me, like, you know, get over it. Women been going through this since the beginning of time.
Make it right.
But, you know, so young and like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do. And then it wasn't until I got older, like, this is not what love is. This is not what I'm supposed to be, you know, going through. And, you know, I just started speaking out a couple of years ago. That's where I met, you know, Selena and other people in my community, where I met them and we were, you know, doing this documentary. That was the first time I ever spoke out about it. Like, ever. And even when I spoke out that day, I mean, I was so walking up there, when I came down, it was like a weight lifted off of me. I'm like, oh my goodness, I found it. And my husband came that day to school. Now I didn't get into that with my husband, like when we got it, you know, the devil was kind of busy, so I feel like he didn't even really sneak up and bring all of that out of me until I became married and found who I was and all those kind of things. So when I spoke out and I sit down and I started crying, my husband's like, are you okay? And I was like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. You know, I'm supposed to be living in my truths, and this is a part of my truths. And I can't help anyone if I keep on hiding, you know. Yeah, so. Yeah,
talking is healing.
And everyone always asks me, like, why do you do this? I'm like, you don't understand. You think I'm doing so much in the community, and I am, and I really am trying to do my part in the community, but I'm also doing so much for me. Every time I talk, every time I meet people like you and others that I meet who inspire me, who talk to me and make me talk about the things, that's another day that I'm healing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
talking
and I need that.
Healing. Yes. I'm a firm believer in it. My husband will tell you I'm such a chatterbox.
So am I. Once you get to know me, I am.
We're cool though.
I'll be nervous, but afterwards I'll be like, okay, that was fine.
I have to say that it's these kinds of shows that made me actually start Purely Positive, because I wanted to be able to spotlight those individuals who were doing things in the community, or even if it was just something that they were doing that wasn't in the whole community, they would just start. People who were doing positive things. A lot of people, we live in such a negative society, and people really do not get, not so much the recognition, but the things that count. You know, a lot of times those things are just glossed over, swept under the rug. I mean, you can look at the news. 95% of the news is negative stuff. They'll talk more about the dogs in the hot cars.
Right. Right. It's sad.
You know,
it's sad.
And I just felt like this would be a great platform to have people like you, Selena, and others come on and say, look, this is what I'm doing, here's why I'm doing it. It's to help, because we need the help. We all need help. We're all brothers and sisters, and if we don't get it, we're lost.
And that's where we are now. We're
lost. We're lost.
We are so lost.
Yeah, so I have to thank you so much for coming on. And I give us how we can get in touch with you.
Sure. You can always reach out to me by email. I definitely do check my email because, you know, I just named a couple of things I'm involved in.
Right.
You know, I have a movie I'm premiering coming up. I have all kinds of stuff. So I always check my email.
Stop. Go back. Movie.
Yes.
Talk.
So I actually will be shooting my part on Monday. So when we get back home, but I play in a movie. It's called Residue 2. It's talking about human trafficking.
Excellent.
Which is something that, you know, people think happens over there or overseas. No, it happens in your backyard. And it's been happening in your backyard.
Years. All the little people on the milk cartons, why do you think you can't find them?
But now social media is so busy and all this stuff is being put out there, but it's been out there.
Exactly.
It's been out there. So, yeah, so like I said, I'm definitely just trying to do my part in the community. So I do check my emails, which is rozmanley@live.com. You can always reach me on there. I'm on Facebook as Roz Manley on Facebook. Try to keep it simple. I'm not gonna remember all the names or passwords.
Like me, we're not even gonna talk about it.
I just want to keep it simple. I just want to keep it simple. So yeah.
Okay, well, good. So what I will do then is I will make sure I hit you. It don't matter. I'm gonna call you anyway.
I'm sure. You can always call my cell phone. My cell phone is always ringing also, so you can also.
I'm gonna call you. Anyway.
You're fine. I'm gonna be calling you too.
Okay, well,
good. One of my goals is what you are as an author. That is one of my.
Oh.
Goals. Yes. Yes.
Oh, and I love helping people with that. Ask Selena.
Well, Selena, it's funny because when I realized Selena did reach out to me about your book when she was, you know, doing it for me to do it. But again, your book came out. Your book, that process was when I was just coming out.
I got you.
I was terrified. When I looked at the computer, I couldn't tell a noun from a verb. I was like, I can't do this. I'm so nervous right now. I'm like, Selena, okay, I'm gonna do it. And I'm like, look, Selena, I did one piece, and now you telling me to do a book. But I have a vision board in my room, and best-selling author is really big on my vision board with my name on it. So years ago, I do have, I think I have a story to tell. I write a lot of notes on Facebook, and another author told me one day, she inboxed me and said, stop giving that away on Facebook. She told me that. She said the same thing, stop giving that away for free. She was like, I don't want to see you blogging no more. And I'm like, no, it's okay. She was like, no, I don't want to see that anymore. And I was like, oh, and then someone else told me that again. I was like, so maybe I should just start listening. So I stopped writing that on there and just write it in the house, but I don't do the notes anymore.
Well, I have to say this. We all have our own process. And that being the case, what may work for me may not work for you.
Right.
So we all, something is in my eye. This is not good. So we all have to find a way to be able to get it out.
Right.
You know, for me, I'm a writer. I just type it up and hey, there we go. But I have to say, whatever works for you, I'll be more than happy to help you.
Thank
more than happy.
I appreciate it.
So with that being said, we are going to close the show for right now, and I'm looking forward to speaking with you again because I know you're going to have something else and we're going to talk about it.
I look forward to that also.